Hello everyone, it's superjesusjackson, back at it again with yet another video. So I've been wanting to make this video for a while. I've been a Michael Jackson fan pretty much all my life, and those of you who follow my channel know that, but that means a lot of things. Being an MJ fan means I've witnessed, heard the best music that this world has to offer, and that also means I've experienced some controversial, embarrassing, frustrating, and confusing moments throughout the 26 years that I've been alive. We all know Michael Jackson is incredibly beloved, revered, right? But it seems like that is half of the world, and I think that half is like shrinking. And then, there's the rest of the people who feel either indifferent or hate Michael because of the obvious. Look, I'm just going to say it straight out at the beginning of this video. I think Michael is innocent. That's what my heart tells me. He was acquitted in his early court trial in the early 2000s. This was, televised all over. We all know of this. And this was concerning one of the major sexual abuse allegations that was against him. But, he was acquitted in this court trial, and that means that he was not found innocent. It's just that there wasn't enough evidence to prove he was guilty. But, to me, innocent until proven guilty, right, for the most part. As far as the other sexual abuse allegation in the 90s with Jordan Chandler, that didn't even go to trial. It was dealt with through settlement, and I'll just leave that one at that. I think that says it all. But besides all that, I think MJ was innocent because of the type of person that I think he was. He was an incredibly troubled person, but he was also incredibly sensitive and loving to everything that we call life. And he made some of the most beautiful music ever. And I just can't see someone like that ever fully being the monster that they say he was. I simply just can't. His art was just too pure and vulnerable for that to be the case. So having said all that, and having addressed the elephant in the room, I now turn to, the bigger point of this video, which is that it's been awesome being an MJ fan, but it's also been incredibly challenging, especially in today's world, and, given that giant elephant in the room. I remember in school, kids used to call me gay as an insult. They would call MJ gay, for, obvious reasons. MJ necessarily wasn't the most masculine person in the world, but at the same time, I think you can make that argument. But, that's something that people have, assumed of Michael Jackson, even when he was alive. And these kids would make fun of me. Of course, it never got to me, but it certainly stayed with me. At the same time, I remember the redeeming moments. I sang Rock With You in my elementary school talent show with an MJ outfit on. I did Billie Jean in 8th grade for my middle school. I also sang She's Driving Me Wild later for that same middle school when I was in high school. And also, I did some cringy or not so redeeming moments, like performing Billie Jean at this Mexican restaurant at the disapproval of my dad. I thought people were gonna love it, and I kind of felt like they didn't, and my dad was disappointed, and he definitely made me know it. It was awful. I guess that's why partly I have so much anxiety and worry about pleasing people. In elementary school, I think I danced like MJ at some party, and my brother praised me and gave me or bought me an iPod because of it. And I guess at that moment, it made me think, oh boy, dancing and performing, do more of that because you'll get approval and stuff. And that kind of messed with my brain and still does to this day. I feel like I have to perform or show off in order to prove to society and those, around me that I'm worth it or that I'm special. But anyway, another moment, again, in elementary school, kids were bothering me, and I had the Invincible Michael Jackson album in my hand. I went to the teacher and said, hey, they're making fun of me because I like Michael Jackson. She grabbed my CD, put it above her head straight up and said, Michael Jackson is one of the greatest or the greatest artist that ever lived. Something like that. His music has influenced so much and, whatever. And it was a moment for sure. And as a kid, you don't remember much, but some moments stay with you forever. And that was certainly one of them. My middle school choir teacher allowed me to hang an MJ poster in the classroom, and it was the only musician/celebrity poster in the room. It was beautiful. Don't know what happened to it. It did get some sort of scuffing and ripping on the sides of it. I wonder why that happened. But yeah. And then of course, going back to some negative things, I've gotten into so many quarrels for being an MJ fan, for being a fan of someone who was allegedly a child molester. And this has happened, ever since I was young to as an adult now. A person I spoke to said they can't listen to his music anymore because of what he thinks he did. And especially in this post-Me Too era, it can be tough. It can be really tough to espouse your MJ fandom. I don't shy away from it if asked, but I certainly am more careful now. I pick my battles a lot more, but maybe that's also just growing up and adulthood, right? And now when it comes to this Michael Jackson biopic, it had me thinking, when it comes out, it'll be interesting to see how successful it really will be. With the critics and the audience, because while I know Michael is still relevant, I'm afraid he isn't as relevant as he used to be anymore. Like, I'll be surprised if the biopic even hits like 700 to 800 million, let alone $1 billion at the box office. If it hits 500 million, that would be pretty good, honestly. But hey, maybe I'm underestimating here. The MJ1 Cirque du Soleil show in Las Vegas is still doing strong, and that means a lot of American people, but also international folks still love MJ or like him enough to check out his show. And with Vegas being a tourist destination, right? That's a pretty good gauge. And also, MJ still has millions of monthly listeners on Spotify and Apple Music. At the same time, though, I feel like the music industry doesn't honor MJ as much anymore. For example, MTV no longer calls their most prestigious music video award the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award anymore. Now it's just the Video Vanguard Award. But the problem is not just externally, I think it's also by the MJ estate's own hand. Michael Jackson's social media presence is lackluster, to say the least. His social media team is a joke. They never even post videos of MJ performing or anything. They get some stuff wrong sometimes. We're lucky to even get a Getty's image with a post. The posthumous treatment of his material, his legacy, album anniversaries, etc. All of that has overall been a huge disappointment. Where are the Dangerous unreleased demos? The anniversary milestone album for Dangerous or History, Invincible, such missed opportunities, and it's a goddamn shame. They're also auctioning off a crap ton of his stuff instead of, putting it in a museum or something. Ultimately, I guess my point with this video is it's an interesting time to be an MJ fan, but I guess it has been for a while. I'm glad people still listen to him. As I said, he's still in the tens of millions of followers on places like Spotify, still hitting 1 billion views on some of his music videos. Crazy, crazy feats. I mean, there's another thing, right? Why aren't all his music videos at least upgraded to HD, let alone 4K? I mean, some are, right? But not even Billie Jean is in 4K. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, I'll never stop being an MJ fan. He's the greatest musician/entertainer that ever lived, and to me, the most interesting non-fictional person that has ever lived. Those are my thoughts. I'm an MJ fan, and this has been my experience. Not entirely, but a lot of the bullet points. But how about you let me know what your experience has been being an MJ fan in the comment section below. Positive, negative, do you hate MJ? Are you indifferent towards him? Are you open to him? Do you like his music but not him? Let me know all of that in the comment section. Give this video a like if you liked it. Dislike it if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy content like this and you want to see more of it. Share with your Michael Jackson loving friends if you will. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you, you beautiful creature. But I think that's it from me. You all take care. Stay safe. And until next time, I love you.